The stage is all set for Rahul Gandhi to take over as the Congress president. The party's highest decision-making body, that's the Congress Working Committee, clears the election of the new chief in December. The Congress hopes the all-new Rahul will energize the party's rank and file. The BJP hits out at the grand old party, says dynasty politics is at work.
Sonia Gandhi launches a scathing attack at the ruling BJP at the Congress Working Committee meeting, accuses the Modi government of sabotaging the winter session of Parliament, says government in its arrogance has cast a dark shadow on parliamentary democracy in a bid to escape its constitutional accountability ahead of the assembly elections.
The row over Bollywood movie Padmavati continues. The Supreme Court rejects a petition seeking a stay on the release of Sanjay Leela Bhansali's epic drama, leaving the decision to the censor board to do its job. Meanwhile, more BJP states come out openly against the movie after Rajasthan. Now it is the turn of Madhya Pradesh to ban the epic.
You heard it first on ET Now, and it's official. The government hikes option size of Bharat 22 ETF to 14,500 crore rupees from the earlier 8,000 crores to cash in on the phenomenal demand. The issue gets oversubscribed 4 times. Even as sources say higher proceeds could make up the shortfall from lower RBI dividend and telecom spectrum charges.
The government cracks the whip on FMCG companies for not passing on the benefits of GST rate cuts to customers. CBC chair, the rights to consumer goods companies, asking them to lower the retail selling price immediately. ET Now meanwhile also learned that the government is moving fast to bring real estate deals under the GST ambit. The Law Ministry's opinion has already been sought.
Even as certain car makers lament unpreparedness for the rollout of BS6 emission norms, Roadways Minister Nitin Gadkari claims 4 major companies are ready to advance the rollout of the more environment-friendly vehicles to April 2018.
Former Infosys chief and Aadhaar architect Nandan Nilekani and his wife Rohini joined the ranks of Aveen Premji and Kiran Mazumdar Shaw as the power couple joined the Bill Gates initiative, the Giving Pledge. The Nilekanis pledged to give away at least half of their wealth for philanthropic causes.
Good evening, it's 9 p.m. on the dot. This is the India Development Debate right here on ET Now. I'm Sandeep Gurumurthy joining you live from our news centre in Mumbai, and joining me in Delhi is my colleague Supriya Srinath. It's official. Come December, Rahul Gandhi will take over as the new president of the Congress party. The highest decision-making body of the party, that's the Congress Working Committee, today cleared the elevation of Rahul as the party president in a much anticipated decision. It's celebration time for the young guard of the Congress who believe Rahul will reinvigorate the party at this critical juncture. The BJP, on the other hand, is wasting no time to decry the move, hitting out at the Congress for following the path of dynasty politics. And it's not just the BJP, there are many within the Congress who believe that Rahul may not be ready yet to take over as the Congress chief.
Now, celebrations and criticism set apart, the task has been cut out for Rahul Gandhi. His first test will be the upcoming assembly elections in Gujarat, although the real battle will be the 2019 general elections. Rahul may be the best bet for the Congress and he could keep the flock together, but the key questions do linger and remain. Will the Congress under Rahul be able to stop the Modi juggernaut? Will Rahul be able to cast the opposition unity? And more importantly, will he be able to drive the resurgence of the Congress parties whose fortunes have been steadily dwindling for some time now? Rahul is the next Congress president, and what it means to India's grand old party and the country's politics at large is a big topic of discussion and debate right here on the India Development Debate this evening. And joining us right here on the India Development Debate this evening, we've got a stellar panel. Sheshadri Chari, Member, National Executive and Convener, Foreign Affairs Cell, the BJP. Ajoy Kumar, National Spokesperson and Party in Charge of Jharkhand, newly appointed at the Congress Party. We've also got Santosh Desai, Brand Commentator, Sanjay Kumar, Director CSDS, and none other than Swaminathan Iyer, Consulting Editor, ET Now, also joins us live right here on the show this evening. Thanks each one of you for being with us. Santosh Desai, let me just begin with you. Is Rahul Gandhi perhaps the best bet for the Congress party right now? And given the timing, the reason that he's getting some kind of traction, the reason that he's gained some kind of political relevance, some kind of political currency of late?
Zero. Normal बंदे को नहीं सुनाई देगा इसमें. No, there is no doubt that Rahul Gandhi is the best bet for Congress, but the problem is that he is also asset for the Congress, because he is the one, the Gandhi, you need a Gandhi member from a Gandhi family to keep all the congressmen together. As soon as we start heading for a situation where there would be an election, where likely election, I think there would be lots and lots of division within the Congress party. So yes, Rahul Gandhi is the best bet for the Congress party at this moment, but also we have seen that being some kind of a reluctant politician, he has also been a kind of a liability for the party. So he needs to play a more active role in politics if he want to be an active politician, if he want to take Congress forward. But yes, I would agree that he is the best bet for the Congress at this moment.
Ajay Kumar, comment on that. Many would argue that given the circumstances, probably Rahul Gandhi is the best bet. But equally, the critics would say it's a reflection of the sad state of the Congress party, that a 138-year-old grand party is having to resort again to the politics of dynasty, that the party has not evolved beyond the Gandhis, and the party is not given an opportunity to any other to the new generation of leaders that many thought would emerge by now. Ajay Kumar.
Sandeep, the first question is, there is an election process in the Congress party. My colleagues in the Bharatiya Janata Party will keep claiming it. I don't know how they get elected, how does Mr. Amit Shah get elected, etc. There is an election process. Anybody can fight their nomination. You had Mr. Rajesh Pilot and Mr. Jiten Prasad fighting against Mrs. Gandhi. So the fact is, one side we claim to believe in democracy, one side we believe in the fair polling process. And when the person wins the election, you say it's a dynasty. So look at the the double speak. You have an election process. Anybody wants to fight election? It's the matter of Congress party. Anybody can fight, and they did it earlier also. So the question is, Bharatiya Janata Party and other parties should answer it, that when they have no election process, we have an election process. You file nomination, anybody can do it. So first question. Second question is the same Mr. Gandhi, who we keep taking pot shots at, in 2009 was the most popular politician. So the politics is a long game. BJP spent millions and millions trying to, to harm his reputation through the social media stories and lies and everything else. But the people, in the end, you win. I mean, I can tell you something, and I don't want to say it because, I'm just a congressman. But to be honest with you, you have very few persons with this honesty and fairness and integrity, and he says what it is. Now, he's working hard. He's a young person. He's doing a good job. And however much the Bharatiya Janata Party might try to discredit him, if anybody who knows him and meets him and sees him, one thing about Mr. Gandhi is fair. He's got a high sense of moral purpose. And he actually thinks seriously, deeply about this country. So I think he fits all the criteria. And I'll finish off by saying, whether it's the right to information, the Food Security Act, we saved the land from being captured by the vicious Bharatiya Janata Party who wanted to acquire all the land of the poor farmers. Mr. Gandhi is led on people's issues. And you may or may not win elections. But the same thing is when you win Punjab, it is Mr. Amrinder Singh. And when you lose some other state, it is Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So I think we in Congress are very glad that he is taking over the leadership. He is continuously demonstrating.
Ajay Kumar.
And let the process be completed.
Ajay Kumar, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Supriya.
Okay, Ajay Kumar has made a point there, and I'm going to go across to Sheshadri Chari on this. And Sheshadri Chari, the point that the Congress is making tonight is that there is a democratic process being followed. Why is the Congress being blamed for dynasty politics? There are elections. Anybody who's interested can come in, contest, like Jitin Prasad and Rajesh Pilot have done in the past. This is an open contest. How would you respond to the point that he's making and the allegation that he's raising, that how was Amit Shah elected to office twice over unopposed?
No, I do see a point that this Congress party does have a democratic election process. It has been already announced, and I can even go ahead and say that this is one election where every exit poll will come true. So I can predict the outcome of this election also, and I am sure the Congress party will unanimously elect Rahul Gandhi as the president, no doubt about it. And this election exit poll will come on the 19th, and by 18th another 2 polls would have already been announced, the results would have been announced. So how the party is going to take those 2 results is to be seen. and it could be a complete wipeout in Himachal, and it could be a repeat for BJP in Gujarat. But that apart, I think if you make an assessment of the Congress party's decision, I think the Congress party has no choice but to go in for someone from the Nehru family. I don't say Gandhi family, it is Nehru family with a Gandhi surname. So it has two advantages. One, it can claim that we represent 150 years of history, the Congress history, whatever it means. And also they want to cling on to that Gandhi tag. I don't know how much of results it is going to give them. The people are no longer going to vote for just because you belong to Nehru Gandhi family. People are going to vote for an agenda, and that if he will be able to set a good viable alternative agenda for the BJP is what is to be seen. So far from experience, I don't think he has been able to set a very good agenda, but if he is able to do it in future, it is yet to be seen. But going by the Congress party's submissive nature of the party, I don't see any huge democratic process that is taking place in that party, but I wish the Congress party and its proposed president well.
Fair enough. That's it's good to hear you sort of wish Rahul Gandhi well, because one of the things that we do want to talk about is the politics of ridicule that's come in over the last few years when it comes to Rahul Gandhi. But Swami, a simple question: is this an existential? And I'm going to come to Santosh Desai after that. Okay, I think we've not got the line with Swami through, so let me ask Santosh Desai this question. Santosh Desai, is this the existential dilemma of sorts for the Congress party? The fact that, it needs the family to hold the party together, and yet because of the family, it just cannot allow another generation of leaders to come up. I know Ajay Kumar made the point that it's a democratic process through which Rahul Gandhi will be elected, but let's face it, I mean, do you really expect any other leader to stand in this election and fight against Rahul Gandhi? Does anyone really stand a chance? So is it an existential dilemma of sorts for the Congress party? Santosh Desai?
Yes, it is an existential trap, in fact, in some senses, that that you are kind of stuck in this place where you have a leader who, apart from having been reluctant to begin with, has currently there is no great reason for the country to sort of line up behind him. But you are kind of, you are stuck with that leader, because anybody else, the party would kind of collapse into a very, very loose coalition of diverse interests. And there is nothing, and the big problem, I think, is the fact that if there isn't anything apart from individuals that hold a party together, there was a time when there was, but with time, that has got eroded and it has got compromised. And therefore, the Congress dilemma is that in the absence of a unifying sort of an ideology, an idea, a vision that can hold people together, which can make individuals important, but not, you're not stuck with them. In the absence of that, I think the only thing that holds the party together today is earlier it was the chance at sharing power. That has dimmed. Now that only thing that remains is the fact that you have a dynastic leader who, in spite of his shortcomings, is your best bet. So I think it is an existential trap currently. Fortunately for the Congress, to a very small extent, the timing, is a little better than it would have been had the move happened about 6 months ago, when the party did not have anything at all, going for it. Now, thanks to the fact that there are certain kind of, with the current government, there is reason to feel unhappy. There is a certain unhappiness you have in different sections. And it is possible, therefore, to capitalize on that to a certain extent. So, to a certain extent, the timing helps him, but in a larger context, this is an existential trap for the Congress.
Ajay Kumar, will throw this question to you. Is this an existential trap for the Congress party? Because your vote gatherers are the Gandhis, they are the family, and yet you would be blamed for dynasty politics. You can't look beyond them. And the other question also that I want to ask you is that many people will today raise questions on the winnability track record of Rahul Gandhi. I mean, how has the Congress performed under him in elections, state after state, or the general elections at large, ever since he took over the Congress vice president in Jan 2013? So two questions, winnability as a criteria and the existential dilemma.
You know, the Supriya, so the first question is I heard Santosh speaking. I don't think the question is what is the views of the Congress party? Would you look at an inclusive India? Yes. Would you look at a left off center or left off center, a moderate centrist party which doesn't look at dividing people and just having a single agenda of a community hatred to shift all the goals and talk about development and do nothing? We've continuously demonstrated what we meant. Mr. Gandhi was a senior leader of the party when we won the election in 2004 and 2009. We did significantly well, but nobody said it. Mr. Chari also says, Santosh was saying that, but Mr. Chari says that we wish them well. Mr. Khattar in Haryana is a RSS nominee. Mr. Rawat is a RSS nominee. Fadnavis is a RSS nominee, but they are a democratic party. What is this dynasty? The RSS dynasty runs the Bharatiya Janata Party, but they are a democratic party. So this whole myth and nonsense which they continuously perpetuate, you look at all the people, they are the most undemocratic. Can you speak against Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah? So the question is, they are preaching democracy. And so I find this absolutely hilarious that Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi speaking about democracy, that's very rich. All their new election chief ministers are decided by Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, and Khattar, Mr. Rawat and Mr. Fadnavis is a stellar example of non-democracy and dynasty of the RSS. And here we have young leaders getting chances where all over you look at the Congress party, and the basic glue is, and I want to tell Mr. Gandhi, when he was 2009, 2004, 2009, nobody seemed to have issues at that time. Suddenly it's the Modi juggernaut, you win elections. The Bharatiya Janata Party, Supriya has won one election, 2014. And suddenly we are all saying that they are the greatest thing, because the human mind is compelled to only think linear. Please, one swallow doesn't make a summer. They are in power. They did a great job in the past few elections. For so many years we've been winning elections. You don't seem to recognize it. We lost elections. We recognize it. And we need to fix and we are doing stuff. Things will change. The country is realizing that Mr. Modi and all is half-baked and fully baked lies and untruth. People are asking those questions, and people will decide. And Gujarat, Mr. Chari, Himachal, he says that the exit polls or whatever polls, I am quite sure he'll be terribly surprised with what will happen. I think in Himachal we'll be doing reasonably well. And in Gujarat, I think Mr. Chari's statement itself shows that they are worried.
We look forward to having you and Seshadri Chari both join us on the day of the election results, and I'm sure we'll have a debate then as well. Clearly, politicians will be judged on their winnability. Before I go to Sanjay Kumar, I want to go to Swami. We fixed the audio link with him. Swami, comment on that. Your reaction to Rahul Gandhi's elevation or imminent elevation as party president. It's just now a matter of time. Does this, in a sense, represent a dilemma, an existential dilemma of the Congress party that they can't do, without the Gandhi family? And in a sense, do you think that given the circumstances, or do you believe given the circumstances, Rahul Gandhi is the best bet for the Congress party? Swami.
There is no such thing as the Congress party without the Gandhi family. This has been demonstrated in one split after the other. Indira Gandhi split it twice. It was proved beyond all doubt. The Congress party without the Gandhi family is actually called the Janata Party. And the Janata Party comes up from time to time, and because there is no glue to hold it together, if there is no Gandhi family to hold it together, it dissolves into little fragments. And there is a Janata fragment, Mulayam Singh Yadav, another Janata fragment, Lalu Yadav, another Janata fragment was Deva Gowda, and the fragments in turn become dynasties. So, at the end of it all, the idea that there's a Congress party without the Gandhi family, there is no such thing. So they have to make do. Then when you have to make do with the family, there is no question of looking for alternatives or looking for different things. I mean, It is up to the young man to, so he's not so young anymore. It is up to Rahul Gandhi to choose a panel of advisors, switch them, shift them. Within the Congress party, I have talked to people who are almost in despair. I mean, one of the cracks that the party uses about Rahul Gandhi is this: "Na bahu lata hai, na bahumat." And lots of other people laugh when you say this. As of now, while he does not carry any great conviction, they say there is no other option, because this is the party attached to the Gandhi family. The Gandhi family controls that large network of finances, of patronage networks, of people who matter, people who know. And without them, there is no cohesion within the Congress party. So Rahul Gandhi is the only person available on the menu. Take it or leave it.
Sanjay Kumar, come in on that. Sanjay Kumar Swami is making about Bahumat, or the point that, Ajay Kumar answered earlier on winnability. For an election, for a political leader, what matters most? Winnability, right? The fact that you can go out there, put yourself and get votes in your name. He hasn't been the best at doing that. He hasn't proven his track record. Given this, is he a weak, is he a weak candidate to begin this role with?
Characteristics of a leader is that he should be able to lead the party, and what does it mean leading the party is to give victory to the party. We have seen, Ajay was talking about 2004, 2009. Do Congress party still want to celebrate 2004 and 2009 in the name of Rahul Gandhi, to keep saying that those victories were in the name of Rahul Gandhi? Yes, if you want, the party want, they can keep celebrating. They can keep celebrating in the name of Rahul Gandhi. But a leader doesn't need to be just looking at the past and just be complacent that yes, this leader has given victory to the party in 2 big elections. You have to take the party forward. So victory is one of the main elements. Rahul Gandhi, we have to acknowledge that he has not been able to successful in leading the party after 2014. Yes, 2014 was a different situation, I would agree. Yeah. But after that, we had all expected that after 44 seats, there would be some change in the leadership, some change in the style of leadership. At least from being a reluctant leader, he should take more active part in politics. But we have seen elections after elections. There have been several assembly elections after that, and we keep reading, we keep hearing that the elections are over and then Rahul Gandhi takes off for 7 days, 10 days. We have hardly heard about politicians, senior politicians, people who are leading the party taking off from politics for few weeks, few months. So that's kind of a sign of a reluctant leader. So if Rahul Gandhi has to lead the party in a successful way, he has to do something more than what he has been doing up till now.
Right. Comment on that, because Seshadri Chari, that has been the BJP's one criticism of Rahul Gandhi, and I'm going to get Ajay Kumar's reaction after you speak. The fact that he is not a serious politician, the fact that he's not a full-time politician, the fact that he's a reluctant politician. Do you believe that something has changed? Because over the last 3 to 6 months, much has changed in terms of his narrative, in terms of his communication, in terms of an attempt made by the entire Congress party to project him as a more serious political face. Has enough changed on the ground for the BJP to consider him as a formidable political force, as a serious politician who's willing to work 24/7, travel through the length and breadth of the country and campaign for his party? Have you seen the transition?
No, as somebody very rightly pointed out, on earlier occasions also he has campaigned for the party, but somehow or the other the perception is that he is not very serious about contesting elections, he is not serious about making attempts for his party to win, and he is not very serious about setting a new agenda, an alternative agenda. I said it earlier also, what Rahul Gandhi needs to do is to set an alternative agenda and then carry it forward to the people. That he doesn't seem to be doing, probably because he doesn't have a team. So he will have to first of all build his team, he will have to make a balance between the old guard. There are a number of people, if you look at the general secretaries of the party, it has got some new faces. he will have to introduce those new faces to the people, he will have to set a new agenda for the party, and then he will have to also convince the people that he believes in that agenda and he is working for that agenda, which he doesn't seem to be doing. So, just because he is addressing public meetings and public rallies, there are no other people who can address the public meetings and public rallies in the Congress party. And I don't see, I don't think the Congress party has nowhere to go except Rahul Gandhi. They have Priyanka Gandhi. They could have brought Priyanka Gandhi to the fore. I don't understand why they have not brought Priyanka Gandhi to the fore. And there are so many other senior leaders in the party who can become the party president. I don't want to name them because they will come into trouble, but there are serious people, there are very senior people who have worked right from Indira Gandhi's time. You can make one of them the party president, and if they really think that by projecting Rahul Gandhi as the prime ministerial candidate against Narendra Modi in 2019, they could try it. I don't understand why they are not trying it. So, to say that there is no alternative to Congress party, have they tried an alternative? After Rajiv Gandhi's prime ministership, the Congress party had two prime ministers, Narasimha Rao and Dr. Manmohan Singh. So, I don't think that they have no other alternative but the Gandhi Parivar, but they have not tried to go outside of it. That is the biggest problem that the Congress party is facing, and I will want to make only two very quick points. One thing is what my friend said about the chief ministers. Some of the BJP chief ministers he named, they don't belong to a particular family. They have a ideological fraternity, but that does not prevent them from becoming chief ministers. They were all party workers for a very long time.
Okay. All right, fair point indeed. These were not RSS members, they were party workers. They worked with the cadres, they worked at the grassroots level. But Ajoy Kumar, a straight question for you. I mean, it's really your prerogative who you eventually select as your president, but I think it's only fair that we ask you, is this elevation going to mark the transition of Rahul Gandhi to a full-time politician? I mean, look at Mr. Modi. Whatever you may say about the man, he's got this political hunger that a politician needs. A lot of people believe Rahul Gandhi is a reluctant politician. Is he going to cease to being a reluctant politician and will perhaps mark the complete transition to full-fledged political role without taking those breaks, taking politics seriously, being in parliament, and doing everything it takes to be a 24/7 politician?
Look, the unfortunate part is a couple of things, and I need to answer it. You know, Swami, Mr. Ankilesaria, and whether it is Santosh or Sanjay was saying, Mr. Advani and Mr. Vajpayee had two members in the Lok Sabha. We never said that they were the most, failure politicians. I mean, when Bharatiya Janata Party went from 2 to 40, they grew over a period of time. They went through those. Did any one of us say that they were stupid, they were bad politicians, they are a loser, get rid of them, only 2 seats? Elections you win and lose. The question again is, if you keep making those statements, then the integrity says, why didn't you make it earlier? Was Mr. Advani a loser? No, he was not a loser. He was a decent politician. You win elections, you lose elections. So to make this kind of a narrative is not only absolutely devoid of facts, it's unfortunate, and it also leads to an agenda of why are you targeting Mr. Gandhi, and that reason I cannot explain. The fact is that, and I want to, and very candidly on all, these elections you win, and the Bharatiya Janata Party has got a rich history of being absolutely awful in elections. Would they write them off? No, they built themselves, and they will also maybe come back to 2. We don't know, and that is for the future to tell. The second issue, which is, he's not a reluctant politician. The problem is he's a nice guy. Now, all of us on the panel and a lot of us are amazed that a nice guy is trying to make nice politics, decent politics, and that seems to be something very difficult for people to understand. He's putting in, which is a political leader who walked across the whole of, who did this yatra across Uttar Pradesh. We didn't get the result. Yes, those are issues. Maybe you might say, which is the guy who fought for the land acquisition, which is the guy who who actually went against the party and made sure that the political corruption becomes a law. But that doesn't seem to make sense to you. So the question again is, he's a nice guy, decent guy. Yeah, by the way, we are so used to crooks in politics that we are surprised that there is a nice guy who doesn't spend monies on trolls to attack political leaders, who says don't say murdabad to the political opponents. And he seems to be, and then decent people in panels don't seem to find that as a quality. And that is where the polity sinks to the lowest level. When we all start admiring decent people, decent people will come. And the question again, sir, is how many of us have said that the BJP spends crores on targeting him, spreading lies about Mr. Nehru? None of our panelists seem to get offended by those lies.
No, Ajay Kumar.
So that is it. If you want decent politics, Mr. Chari is a decent man. Please tell the BJP to stop spending lies.
Okay, fair enough. Ajay Kumar.
Because Mr. Gandhi,
Ajay Kumar, let's not drag Nehru into this debate. Let's not drag.
One second, can I finish, sir?
Sure. Okay.
No, you need to listen. You need to listen to this. No, Mr. Sandeep, you need to listen to this. BJP has to say, spread lies on WhatsApp, spread lies on Twitter. You finance it through the billion hearts and these kind of outsourced model. And Mr. Chari is a nice man, but you spread lies. And that has to stop. And if Mr. Gandhi represents the honest, decent politics, power to him, man. And please do that. And if that is a disqualification, people like all of decent people in India should be disqualified.
Enough, you've made your point. Let me take it to Santosh Desai, who's been patiently listening by. Santosh Desai, this thing that gets talked about of Rahul Gandhi being a nice man, and probably there is a view of a lot of people that he's a nice man. But this whole transition that he needs to make to be seen as a formidable political leader, is his good boy image, this nice man image, is that something that's coming in the way of his graduation, so to say, as a political leader? And how does he make this transition? Have you mapped a change in the way he is being projected by the Congress party as well over the last 4-5 months? And I'm not just talking about all that they're doing in social media, but beyond that, in the way they're trying to position that. Is it easy to reinvent oneself as a political brand?
Well, I sort of, in a sense, sympathize with what Ajay Kumar's view on the decency and the fact that it is true that the element of decency is has rapidly kind of evaporated from politics. But the truth is also that unless that decency gets heft and becomes valuable, it is by itself does not matter in any significant sense. How does that translate into politics? How does that translate into a way of a vision for governance? And I think Mr. Gandhi's problem is the fact that there is still an old vocabulary, and there is a tired grammar that is employed by the Congress, and it is without reinventing that. And it is not about yes, it is true what he says, that politics is, you have ups and downs and you win and lose, and it's yesterday it was a different story. The problem is that what is the vision for the future? It has nothing to do with the ups and downs. In the absence of that, the reinvention that is taking place of Rahul Gandhi currently is a surface reinvention. There is a certain, and in the short run that is perhaps a good idea. In the short run, the idea that you attack what is going wrong with the BJP and do it smartly, do it well, do it with a certain fleet-footedness, I think all of that makes sense. But beyond the immediate short-term gains of an approach like that, which wins some credibility back for him, the long-term view has to be, there was an old centrist kind of a view which was rooted in a certain vision of the state and a vision of politics. That does not apply anymore. And to go back to that model and to mouth the same old sort of platitudes does not work anymore. You need a new idea, and the Congress does not have a new idea. And in the absence of a new idea, Rahul Gandhi can use social media all he likes. It is simply will not cut it. That's not good enough.
Swami, I want you to come in on exactly that point. When we talk about Rahul Gandhi, is he continuing to espouse the ideology, whether it's economic or political, that was once spearheaded by Indira Gandhi and later by Sonia Gandhi, the entitlement-based policies that were rejected by India in 2014. Is he continuing to do that? Or will he have to bring an alternate long-term agenda on the table? It's all right to attack the government short-term, like Santosh Desai says, and gets you traction, but long-term, is there a vacuum of this alternate political agenda which he will have to bring to the table to be politically relevant? Swami.
I would say yes. They are struggling to come forward with some new idea. Traditionally, this was a party which said we are for the poor, whatever that may mean, a very large number of people. Within that, there was a special focus on the Dalits and on the Muslims. And they had the aura of the independence movement, and later on, the Tina factor, there is no alternative. So these were the kind of basis on which the Congress came up. And then having come up, every now and then it would lose an election. But because anti-incumbency is so strong in India, if you did absolutely nothing, you didn't have to come up with any new ideas. The opposition party, after ruling for one term, two term, it would fail and you would come back to power. So there was the feeling that, it's my turn, it will come. I don't particularly have to generate enormous new ideas. Even when some new ideas came, many of them turned out to be leaky schemes of various kinds, which apparently were for the poor, and yet you found that there was no electoral reward for it because of the fact that these are leaky, highly corrupt schemes. And in any case, a lot of the credit for things like Narega, other programs like the right to education, right to information, where a chief minister implemented it well, the credit went to the chief minister. It did not go to Rahul Gandhi. It did not go to the Congress party. And so apart from the idea of this kind of rights-based approach, that is the kind of idea they were pushing in their last 5 years. But at the end of it all, it just looked like a repetition of the old leaky programs to buy off this vote bank, that vote bank. They were unable to get out of the rut of a feeling that this is a party which is actually highly corrupt, it's a big business, it makes lots and lots of money, and in return it gives some welfare schemes. This then, broadly speaking, was the image of the Congress party. Now, they were lucky in 2004. They got into power with only 146 seats, mind you. They got into power because at the last minute, Vajpayee switched to Jayalalitha from the DMK. Had he not done that, the Congress may not have come back. I mean, the whole story might have been different. But the question was, does Congress have a new idea? The answer is that under Sonia, they called this National Advisory Council, they had this new idea. They said, we will have a rights-based approach to politics. So we'll have a right to education, a kind of right to employment, these kind of. Then they said, we will now future perhaps get towards a right to health by expanding health, the kind of idea they had the last minute. None of this was seen as effective. None of this was seen as something that actually transforms the lives of the people. Meanwhile, Modi came up with this idea of meeting the aspirations of people and above all, of bringing better governance. The Congress party is handicapped terribly by the fact that when there was one scam after the other, it brought back memories that this is a kind of money machine. This is a party which has no cadres. It has no cadres, but every single big politician is paying a staff of up to 200 people. The money has to come from somewhere. So this is a party which has generated a large amount of money. All the other parties have generated money too. But in general, I think it would be seen that this has become a large money machine fed by various scams. That was their downfall. The image today is such that you cannot overcome that particular remembrance of what happened a few years ago. Now the people of India are forgiving, after 5 years, after 10 years, it is possible that that fades into memory and there will be new scams, there will be new problems on the other parties. And in these circumstances, a party that has gone down can bounce back. It has often happened before, as in 2004, when Congress bounced back, when lots of people had written it off. Okay. So does it have the capacity to bounce back? Yes. Okay. Does it have the capacity to bounce back under Rahul Gandhi in the near future? I would say no.
Okay, fair enough. Ajay Kumar, comment on that. Two questions. One, to respond to the point that Swaminathan Iyer is making, that how is the Congress going to get over this perception of being a party, a money machine, as Swami eloquently puts it. And the other point is, this obsession with entitlement-based policies. The Congress, can Rahul Gandhi reimagine the thinking of the party? Can it make the Congress party a pro-market, not a pro-business, but a pro-market party? Why is, industry a bad word in the, in the books of the Congress party? It's almost as if wrong to, even though some of the greatest reformers hail from the Congress party, but yet over the last few years, big business has been painted as this, nasty little thing. Anything that's pro-market is seen as, is looked down upon. Can Congress make that transition? Ajay Kumar.
No, the first question, Sandeep, as an economic channel anchor, you make the great disservice, including pro-market as big business. At least in India, what the Congress party is trying to say, and correctly, that the big business can be one of the most non-pro-market perspective, and we've seen it. Those issues, what Mr. Anklesheria said earlier in terms of issues is we have, look, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been there for 3 years, and I really would request them to get on with those cases. And I realize that there may have been, if not the perception, there were certain people who did wrong. Action should be taken against them. The law has to take its course. The question again is the present media and it's not media finger pointing. There is no stories on Rafale, there is no story on Vyapam, there is no story on so many multiple corruption, because this government has decided, hey, I'm going to not inquire myself. So if you don't inquire, you're never going to have anything to be inquired at. So there's no inquiry into Sara papers, there's no inquiry into the Rafale deal, there's no inquiry into Birla papers, there's no inquiry into Mr. Adani's 5,000 crores duty drop, and everything is well because we will not get it inquired. We made mistakes, and fine. And Mr. Gandhi has to create a new team, correct. Mr. Gandhi has to select people with the high level of integrity and doing it, and he's trying to do it. I'm not saying that the world is perfect. We are changing, and those are some of the mistakes we acknowledge. We have the decency to acknowledge that, listen, we did make some mistakes. We did some great stuff. We didn't communicate well. I think Sandeep, I'll tell you something the right to food, the food security might sound to be a leaky, statist kind of policy. The question is, the state I come from and most of India, if the right to food security is implemented with integrity, the country can afford to actually support the poorest of the poor in this country. How it is implemented, and the BJP government can implement it well and ensure that poor people can use that saving from the Food Security Act for education and health and other stuff. So the statist and leaky programs, power to the Bharatiya Janata Party to, the intent is good, stop that and implement it in the welfare of the people. So Supriya, I'll finish up by saying that, that for apple to apple, please do a story on Rafale. We need to know the truth. We are not saying it's a scam. But even if you stop even questioning stuff on televisions and asking questions on these kind of the Vyapams and everything else, then we really need to worry about what's happening to India and what's the future of this country in terms of its politics.
Right. I can't deny what you're saying, but Shashadri Chari, I'm going to bring this to you, and just taking a cue from what Dr. Ajay Kumar just said. Rahul Gandhi does raise some important questions, about jobs, GST, the Rafale deal, Vyapam sometimes. Why is it that the BJP continues, and you've been very statesmanlike, so I'll congratulate you, but why is it that the BJP continues to ridicule his politics? And can the BJP afford to do that anymore? I mean, the Pew survey that the party went to town with as far as the Prime Minister's popularity is concerned does also say 65% of the people believe Rahul Gandhi is a good leader. So statistics are also not totally against him. So, I mean, how long can the politics of ridicule continue, and where are the serious answers?
Now, some quick points. Any kind of ridicule of a leader of any other political party other than yours is wrong. Basically, I don't believe in this kind of politics. But let me assure you, when you say why BJP ridicules, I think you need to correct yourself. If there are some people who belong to the BJP and they resort to this kind of ridicule politics, it is bad. And the same applies to Congress, the same applies to the Communist Party, the same applies to all other political parties. I mean, there was a Congress leader, I mean, I can tell you, Sonia Gandhi used the term "maut ka saudagar." Was it not a derogatory statement against a political leader? So, everybody should look at oneself in the mirror and decide before making a comment as far as this ridiculing business is concerned. But if the social media has become very free today, and there are Congress leaders who have used a very unparliamentary, very derogatory statement against some other leaders, not only BJP but other parties also, so it is equally bad. So we will have to get out of this ridicule business as far as possible, as early as possible. It will be good for the political culture of the country. But having said that, I think Ajay Kumar made a very good point. He said something about a good leader, a nice man. There is no dearth of nice men in the party. I personally, I have greatest respect and regard for Dr. Manmohan Singh. He is still a very nice man. Why don't, if nice man is the criteria to become the party president, I think no other person in the party other than Dr. Manmohan Singh would qualify to become the president of the party. It would be a very good idea to have an economist and former prime minister, an experienced person who has won 2004 election, who has won 2009 election, and I think the Congress party should give him the due respect for having won the 2009 election single-handed. Nothing else has won for the Congress party except Dr. Manmohan Singh and his policies. Anyway, we can go back to history and discuss all these things till the cows come home. But suffice to say, there are people with 30-40 years of experience in the Congress party. I didn't want to name, but I cannot withhold myself to name people like one of the General Secretaries, Janardhan Dwivedi, a scholarly person. He qualifies. He is a very nice man.
Okay.
And if you say Rahul Gandhi is the only person who is not corrupt,
okay,
then I think it's not a very good statement as far as the Congress party is concerned.
Sure. Okay.
So don't. I mean, this idea of nice man. We are presenting you a nice man. I don't think if the Congress thinks that by presenting a nice man they are going to win the 2019 election,
right,
they are absolutely wrong on it.
Okay, fair enough.
The Congress will have to come up
I'm going to have to interrupt you.
Agenda.
Seshadri, I'm going to have to interrupt you. Okay, Ajay Kumar, quick rebuttal for you, because and then I need to go back to Sanjay Kumar and Swami and Santosh. Ajay Kumar, very quick rebuttal from you.
So I have a suggestion from Mr. Seshadri. Instead of Mr. Modi, you have Arun Shourie, you have Yashwant Sinha, you have very good people, competent, more qualified, more intelligent. Since he seems to be very generous on our party, why don't you bring Mr. Arun Shourie back? He wouldn't have made a mess like Mr. Modi made on the economy. Why don't you get guys like Mr. Yashwant Sinha who are back? And why didn't we show more courtesy to Mr. Advani? He would have been a fantastic prime minister.
We will discuss.
And there's so many other good leaders in the Bharatiya Janata Party. Sir, one sec, I didn't interrupt, sir.
All these things.
So my question is, we can give you a lot of names to change Mr. Modi so that the country will not suffer anymore. And the other issue is the nice man was only one of the quality which said was decency in politics was just a qualification. It is an unnecessary qualification apart from competence for other things.
Okay.
But in the Bharatiya Janata Party, I believe that I'm not here to comment on the BJP, seems to have a severe shortage of decency in their leadership. And that is for them to decide that if they don't think that's a criteria. We believe that the nice person is also a mandatory criteria apart from competence.
Okay, okay. Let's leave the political banter aside.
And I'm going to sign off, Sandeep, because I said that, I need to leave because...
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ajay Kumar, we'll let you go. Let me get closing comments from the rest of my panel. So Sanjay Kumar, coming to you first, because to win an election, you need to work a coalition. In 2019, assuming the Congress were to do well, does Rahul Gandhi have it in him to attract coalition partners? Will Sharad Pawar, a Mamta Banerjee, all stalwarts in their own right, will they work with Rahul Gandhi? I mean, Sonia Gandhi in many ways was the glue that kept the coalition together. Can Rahul Gandhi be that? Sanjay Kumar.
See, in order to bring coalition together, in order to bring senior leaders together, you need the person in the nucleus, the party in the nucleus needs to have a stature. Yes, Sonia Gandhi had that stature. She was able to bring all the leaders, the names you mentioned, together. But I think Rahul Gandhi, it would be difficult for Rahul Gandhi to bring all these people together just in the name of Rahul Gandhi. But there is a winnability factor. As soon as we see the things changing, maybe the wind, the political wind changing in this country, and we see, suppose the popularity of BJP going down and maybe the signs of Congress popularity going up, this would be the moment then all these people who may not be willing to side with Rahul Gandhi, they would all try and have a coalition. So, and also about the coalition will also matter about the local equations in different states. So, I am not saying that Rahul Gandhi will not be able to put up the coalition at all, but yes, if we compare Rahul Gandhi's ability to put up a coalition and Sonia Gandhi's ability to put up the coalition, Rahul Gandhi will certainly be weak on that matter, but it is time to see. We will see what happens in 2019. It is just a speculation at this moment.
Right. Right. Okay. Swami, I'm going to quickly come to you because many people are wondering if 2019 is going to be Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi. Can Rahul Gandhi afford to do that? Or do you believe 2019 will be Mr. Modi versus a whole host of people in many parts of India? So it may be Modi versus Mamata, it may be Modi versus Naveen, it may be Modi versus others. As far as the Rainbow Coalition is concerned, do you believe that is what we will see? Can Rahul Gandhi afford to have a Rahul versus Modi in 2019?
In 2019, Mr. Modi will represent a party that is ruling in more than half the states of India, whereas the Congress will be representing a party which rules hardly one or two states, apart from perhaps the small northeastern ones. So, you know, to say Rahul versus Narendra Modi, no. It would be Narendra Modi versus the rest. But having said that, the rest, after all, at some point, suppose there are some unexpected events. Suppose Modi slips up in some way. Suppose there are some new scams, some new thing comes, and there is a change in the mood. Suppose you therefore get to a stage where the NDA falls short of a majority. What about all the others? There may be Mamata, there may be Sharad Pawar. Which of them will have the numbers to beat the Congress? I don't think any of them will. So even if the Congress wins no more than 90 or 100 seats, it would still be easily the largest single one of these other parties. And it would therefore naturally become the party that would have a claim to lead an opposition-led government in place of the NDA. So, you know, I don't think at the end of it all, the question is, do you have stature or do you not have stature? I wouldn't say Sonia had any stature. Sonia got the numbers. If you get the numbers, the stature automatically follows. If Rahul Gandhi is able to get back to 140 seats, which I very greatly doubt, then in some sense he would once again be an obvious focus of a non-NDA NDA government. Maybe once again with the left front and others coming in. So, you know, there is a chance, but I would say it's a very remote chance, and it would have nothing to do with what Rahul Gandhi himself does. It would boil down to, would there be some unexpected events, would there be some serious mistakes made by Modi that somehow allow a chance to appear which didn't appear to be there. So, this is not a strategy, it is not a plan. But Rahul Gandhi can be prepared to saying, in case something slips up, I should be there to seize the opportunity, as my mother did before me in 2004.
Fair enough. Santosh Desai, I'll let you have the last word. You know, the contrast is just getting so apparent. On the one hand, you have a leader who prides himself on having a 56-inch chati, who probably has understood the aspiration of the country for want of a strong leader. As a Pew survey also indicates that 55% of this country, of people polled, want a military rule. Shocking as it may be, but that seems to be the mood of the country. On the other hand, you have a leader whose one of his claim to fame is his so-called good boy image, the guy next door, a gentle man who believes in empowering people. How can Rahul Gandhi reinvent himself to make himself politically relevant in 2019?
Well, I think to begin with, it would have to be by creating, a narrative around the failures of the BJP government, and that, he has, the fact that there have been some starting points with respect to, what has, in the last few months, we are seeing at least some shift in the mood to kind of build on that, and a narrative of a government that speaks much louder than it acts, of a certain arrogance, a certain divisiveness. These are kind of, this does provide material for him to build the possibility of of providing an alternative and becoming the channel for articulating those anxieties and those frustrations with this government. But, having said that, one must also acknowledge that currently it isn't enough. Currently, the quantum of dissatisfaction certainly isn't enough for him to see himself as a counterpoint to Narendra Modi. As Swami Iyer said, it is Narendra Modi versus everybody else. And his big challenge, in fact, is the fact that the Congress, they need to build a coalition before the election if they have to have any chance. But the Congress does not have anything substantial. Its negotiating position in a coalition is extremely weak, because you have strong local pockets. So Mamata Banerjee has West Bengal to offer. What the Congress has to offer is a very scattered kind of a vote base across far too many states, not solid enough for him to negotiate a strong position. So the dilemma is that you need a coalition, but you don't have the strength to kind of extract the numbers from it that would make it worth your while. And I think that's going to be a real challenge for him on his path to kind of reinvention.
All right, that's a challenge indeed. I'm going to afraid completely timed out on this edition of India Development Debate. Santosh Desai, Swaminathan Iyer, Seshad Acharya, Ajay Kumar and Sanjay Kumar, thank you so much for taking time out and joining us in this edition of the India Development Debate on ET. Now, Rahul Gandhi's elevation is perhaps overdue. The Congress party needs fresh thinking, and given the circumstances, Rahul Gandhi may well be their best bet despite his poor electoral track record. The grand old party that appeared directionless till not so long ago now seems to be on some sort of a comeback trail.
But all that could count for little against the formidable political machinery of the BJP led by Prime Minister Modi, whose popularity appears quite unmatched. The Congress party under Rahul Gandhi will need to reinvent itself to even put up a fight in 2019. The countdown, we say, has begun. Thank you very much for being with us in this edition of the India Development Debate.